Good evening, folks. I hope everyone is doing all right, considering today's result was absolutely shocking. I said I'd pop on tonight, have a chat with you just in regards to the game, regards to this week coming up as well in the Europa League and the Cup final on Sunday as well at Hampden. Look, I was actually quite optimistic going into this game today after, doing well with Martin O'Neill. The morale was back in the squad, and then obviously look at the pros and cons of this today was the manager's in the door. Yes, I wanted to keep Martin O'Neill until the end of the season, but it is what it is. And we have to back the manager. And you look back on previous managers that started off at Celtic, like Gordon Strachan, he didn't get off to a good start in the Champions League. Brendan Rodgers over in Gibraltar, and his first game he was beaten by Hearts away in Tynecastle. So I won't be panicking just yet, even though we're all pissed off and disappointed. You can clearly see that there's not enough quality in that squad. And I think he should have kept the formation as it was before even try. Like, he's only in the door since Thursday. 2 sessions with the squad and trying to adapt to his own style of football in a high pressure game. It's not like we're playing someone on bottom table. It's Hearts, and you know what? Hearts came to Celtic Park, and they defended quite well, and Derek McKinnon's side deserved the victory because even though in the first kind of 25 minutes we had a couple of chances, Moyeda had a couple of chances, and then in the second half, Arnie Ingles with the header, and then Rio Atate hitting the crossbar. It just looked like you got that vibe that we weren't getting back into it. And you could see the confusion with the squads. Like Colin McGregor going over to Nancy, and then Nancy's like literally showing this board and he's trying to learn the tactics and stuff like that. It's too much to implement so really. But I said I'd come on, have a chat with you. It's a hard one to take today because we could have went 3 points clear Hearts with 2 games to play them again, and on top of that, a game in hand as well. But it's not that case because this is what happens if you don't have conviction and hunger in that squad. They're going to drop down a level. We should have kept Martin O'Neill, and I hope I go back over this video at the end of May and say, maybe it was just just a bump today, just a bump. Even though you're playing against, someone that's fighting for the title, someone that yesterday we were feeling that the bubble was burst with Hearts when they lost to Aberdeen away in Batodry. They draw to Motherwell, and they drew to Kilmarnock. We were like, look, it's we have a good chance of getting back into this. But right now, what I would say to Celtic fans is, don't panic. Don't panic. It's December. Let Wilfred assess the squad. He's only had 2 training sessions with them. Let's see who he thinks is up to the quality. And there is, I looking online, and people are calling him, he won't last long. I think some people are very opinionated where when we lose the game, it's like the world's ended. The world's ended. Sometimes you just got to think a bit wrong. I agree with you. The timing's completely wrong. We should have let Martin have it until the cup final. We should have let Martin have it until the end of December. But Celtic were eager to obviously get this guy over the line so he doesn't have to do pre-season with Columbus Crew. And it was a hard one to take today. At the same time, hopefully he has the fire in his belly now. And yes, Celtic were all PR stunt with the whole showing him on the training pitch and his press conferences, but I'm just hoping that he's not one of these managers where he's a complete yes man to the boards. I have a feeling it's gonna be one of them situations because this is a big stepping stone to go to one of the biggest clubs in the world, coming from the MLS, and the board pulls strings, and some people might say it's a cheap option. Time will tell. Some people might say it could be an ambitious new chapter of going outside the box going for a different manager that wasn't recognisable to a lot of fans that support Celtic, that a lot of us don't keep eyes on the American market. But time will tell. Rome is going to be a difficult one. To be honest with you, I'm going to say it out straight as it is. I just think Celtic are probably going to get hockeyed by Roma on Thursday night. The Europa League is not an objective to me. You know, it's always good to do well in Europe, even though we got a fantastic result over in Rotterdam. But it's we all need to focus on getting the silverware, getting his first bit of silverware over the line on Sunday, and that will give the squad and the coaching staff as well a kick. But Keith, I'm sick of my ages missing sitters. I don't care what people say about this, but I think Maeda's head is well checked out a long time ago. Yes, he had scored goals under Martin O'Neill and stuff like that, but he's dying for a move in January. Like he wanted to get out in the summer, so I think he'll end up moving. There's a concern there. You look at the bench and you're saying to yourself, right, Luke McCown can come on and maybe change it around. You're not seeing enough of Paulo Bernardo. He's been frozen out of the team. Even with Martin was there. Look at Martin O'Neill had them playing football. They had him playing football. It was like playing for your granddad. Your granddad was like managing the team for them 8 games or so. But there's concern there, and the way we conceded that first goal. Yeah, fair enough. Arnie Ingles was on side, and Bravo he capitalised and then scored. But it's just the second goal, no one marking the player, McEntee, no one marking him at all. And then you could just see that the closest player to him was Benjamin Negrin. And it was a good header. And, you know, this is what's going to happen. Celtic Park is not a fortress. Teams come to Celtic Park and know that Celtic will have a lot of possession, which was like 77% possession. And then they get these chances and they fuck it up. They just fuck it up. Like Maeda's first chance today, complete sloppy. Sebastian Tanecki trying too much on the ball at times. Trying well too much at times. I have to say, I thought Tierney played well, but you could see that the three at the back, you know, Austin Trusty just looked like he was out of place. He's a left-footed player playing on the right-hand side. He just looked like he was out of place, and now Scales trying to hold the fort, being in that kind of that middle centre-back position, as you want to call it. But we should have kept Martin O'Neill. 100% agree. Is I wondering why I probably have a Scotland flag. Now, I'm not Scottish. I have Scottish blood in me, but my missus is Scottish. And we were out last year for the Euros, and she bought that fucking flag. So when Scotland qualified, I was like, right, you can put the flag up. And so the flag's up in the background. I'd rather if it was a tricolour, but look, it's a Scottish woman has to call it. I live in Scotland, so it's a difficult draw for Scotland. You know, Brazil, Morocco, you know, they'll be Haiti. Ireland, if they get through, we will be South Korea, South Africa, and Mexico. But it's a long time away. I'm hoping my country get there. But this channel is about the green and white of Glasgow Celtic. And for Hearts to come and beat us twice this season, it just shows that we are going backwards. We might have that spell where the old Bitcoin goes up a couple of days and then it goes back down again. That's what it feels like. I just feel like we're just dipping. And I know it's only the first game under Wilfred. But it will either he will get it together, he'll adapt his system. He won't get enough time on the training pitch with these lads over the next couple of days with these games coming up. December's a busy schedule. Some people might say in the comments we could have waited till January, or even brought him in and let him sit aside and let him watch more of the games in the stands, or walking behind the scenes and then taking it over in January. But the board, that's the mentality of the Celtic board. I feel like what I've been told by a couple of people I spoke to from who support the club's crew was like 2.5 million it cost Celtic to get this guy over the line. And let's hope let's hope that his style of football is exciting and attractive, because all means, was I one of these people buying into the whole PR shite the other day of him talking about how passionate he is, and all this stuff, all these cliches. The famous cliche in life is actions speak louder than words. So if he can get them lads playing a certain style of football soon, and I didn't like what he said earlier on in the post match. I was impressed with the mentality. You were impressed with the mentality, Wilfred. We we have a squad of players there that have experience of winning titles, winning trebles, playing in big games for the country, playing Champions League games for Celtic, Europa League games, and at the end of the day, getting beaten at home to Hearts in the league, regardless Hearts situation or not. It's your first match. You want to be going out there and putting a show on. It just didn't feel right. 70 minutes into the game, and you're saying to yourself, you seen the stands were yes, it was pissing raining today, and a lot of people were leaving 10 minutes early because the weather was shite. At the same time, back your team. Back your fucking team. If that was Rangers, oh fuck me, you should probably stay till the end, wouldn't you? Hoping that we get back into it. Let's not disrespect Hearts here. Hearts are top of the league because they've beaten the likes of Rangers. They're more hungrier than us. They have a new manager who knows the league quite well. And yes, they've dropped a couple of points and we got back into it. But this is a fucking mess this season. Some people said in the comments, buckle up, it's going to be a long season. I've been saying that since the summer. So I'm going to go through the comments. I'm going to start doing more podcasts. The finger's out. I done a little short video earlier on. I done a video the other night. I'm going to start doing more videos. Simple as, regardless if I'm half-arsed and tired after work, the videos are getting put up. If I'm a cranky bastard, it is what it is. I was away today, so the videos took a bit longer to get up. So Nancy will be sacked before March if St. Mirren beat us. Let's not be negative. Let's not be fucking negative. For God's sake, it's his first game. And I know that's your prediction, and I respect your opinion. But at the same time, there's a lot of football to be played. Like, you're literally just throwing the manager right into the fire. Right into the fire. His first defeat, yes, it was a hard one to take. It was hard to watch in the eye. There wasn't enough charisma. There wasn't enough spark in the team. Yes, but have a bit of faith. This is not Brendan Rodgers managing us. If Brendan Rodgers is still in charge, and argument's sake, we are 12 points behind Hearts right now, I'd be saying, yeah, fucking throw it in, throw it in. Would I love to see Martin O'Neill still here right now? Of course I would. I was a bit annoyed that we got rid of Martin. I've been saying it for a long time. I even said on the podcast the other night to the lads over in Ohio, this whole appointment feels very strange. It feels like it's a cheap appointment. Is it a Ronnie Doyle? Or is it going to be Ange, where give it a bit of time? I know this is not the start of the season. We're immediately halfway through the season. We can't afford to drop points at home. We can't afford to drop points away. We can't afford to get scalped against Roma. We can't afford to get scalped in a cup final. But this is the realization that could happen, or it could be a case where these players will buy into the system soon, and it'll start clicking. It will start clicking soon. It's a lot to ask. It's a lot to ask when you're a fan sitting there, and whoever went to the game today in the Pistons of a rain, I feel sorry for you. But at the same time, you're backing your team. You love your team. You're hoping for a reaction, and it wasn't meant to be. It was actually a negative reaction. So see what happens. Tell him to put his tactics. Yeah, like you don't want to be showing the opposition your tactics, especially on live TV. The Sky cameras are on, and you could see everything. You could see the press. You could see everything. And look at you may not like what I'm gonna say, but I'll say it for the sake of it, as honest as it is, he'll learn from that. And hopefully teams don't expose us from that as well, like they did today. So see what happens. You could see how Nancy wanted to play in the first half. I reckon he's got what it takes. Well, time will tell. Time will tell. And David is saying in the comments, Keith, he's not got time. He's got 2.5 year contract, and football could be, argument's sake, 6 or 7 games, and you're out of your job, as we've seen with Ange in Forest. We just can't expect click the fingers and it's going to happen overnight, folks. As much as we have that stubbornness because we're Celtic fans, and we have a core players that can come up with brilliance at times, and then core players that cannot come up with fucking jack shit. And that's the God honest truth. I just feel like we are dropping down a level. If we get a positive result against Roma on Thursday night, we might start feeling a bit better. I might take a bit of that salt off the wounds, but we still have to play Hearts twice, you know. And I'm not thinking about that team who's 4th place. I'm not thinking about what's below us. We got to think about us as a core, as a team. Every game should feel like a cup final. He's going to realise now after losing that. What I was really pissed off about was he was up that tunnel quick enough. And yes, it was pissing raining, but he was straight up that fucking tunnel. And we only see that opposition teams or teams on the other side of Glasgow that manager just runs up to the tunnel. But we shouldn't have that. He needs to understand that losing this game today, yes, he's experienced enough in America and all this crap and managing Montreal. This job is 10 times bigger than any job he's ever had. Like, if he was to fuck this up, he's gonna find it very hard to get a high profile job. Better off going to the 2nd division in France or going back to the MLS, because he's playing with fire. You're playing against a team that were very organised. They took their chances. They had a game plan. We did not have a game plan. His tactics were like, we're going to play this. What he should have done was, in a half-time, right, this formation's not really, hasn't gotten us a goal. We've seen early sparks of it. We'll go back to what you know. We'll play that formation to get over the line. And as it says in the caption, changes could cost Celtic the title. This could be a game where we look back and we're like, fucking hell, we never hit even 3rd gear today, you know. So Roman's next. You know, funny enough, I seen a couple of. I was in a certain place today, and I actually seen a couple of Roma fans as well. Crazy enough, he's used to a tactics board instead of an iPad. And you know what? It gave that kind of vibe of COVID, didn't it? That Gavin's tracking laptop vibe today, didn't it? Just something about it just kind of gave me that vibe, and I'm like, fucking hell. Like, keep that stuff between the trees. Not showing the whole fucking world what's going on. Like, and if he does it on this is going to be his first time managing in a European competition. And will he get enough? You'll have 3 training sessions with the lads before the big game on Thursday night at Celtic Park. I said this at the start of the season with regards to this game. I was off for this game anyway. And I know it's not me being an absolute dickhead in any shape or form, but the way we are right now as well, I'm not optimistic about it. My head is focused on thinking of next Sunday, even though we should be thinking every game as a cup final. Europa League, it shouldn't be. I wouldn't say not take it serious, because Celtic, the way they failed, not qualifying for the Champions League, and if we get a couple of we get a win in the last 3 games or so, we have a potential of actually qualifying for the last few rounds. But I just feel like it's a distraction. It's a distraction that, let's be realistic. Are we gonna go on and win the fucking Europa League? Definitely not. Definitely not. But we should never change it around, you know. Yeah, exactly. And he's French, and he should know that. Like, see teams like fucking Marseille, teams like PSG, they don't take shit. They can't accept losing, you know. And he should. And he's from Le Havre, and I just think, I'll be honest with you, and I hope I'll meet my words in the next 2 or 3 months. And I know I want to get behind them, and I want to see our team be successful. I just think this is too much of a big job for him. That's how I feel. You might agree or disagree. Maybe it's just the unknown and the stubbornness of bringing a lad in from fucking America. For God's sake, we took a chance with Ange, and paid off Ange, and it's crazy to think, like, I could be sitting here this time next week saying to you, holy fuck, he's three games into the job, and we've lost the cup final. We're after being hammered by Roma, and we're chasing Hearts, and Hearts are one. Maybe Hearts will be 6 points clear. That could be the reality. It could be the reality, and I'm not trying to spill the negativity on you. I'm not trying to make it feel fucking worse, but that could be the possibility. Stephen Robinson will obviously look at that today, and he will say, right, we played Celtic a couple of times this season. We were unlucky, and Paisley will take it to them. Yes, they will have more allocation at Hampden, but we'll take it to Celtic, and I think they will take it to Celtic. I just don't think he will get that right. Yeah, look, all of them: Tisdale, Nicholson, Lawwell, um, Desmond, and his little son that's never paid for a fucking Celtic ticket in his life. Like, I feel like it's a very, very cheap option. Cheap option. They came out with all this bluff saying that Nancy was their first choice candidate. I don't believe it. Well, there's a part of it does believe it, because they wanted to go cheap, but at the same time, they could have been ambitious. They knew that what happened with Brendan. You knew that they could have, this is time to turn, and they know with the pressure that they've had with the fans on them as well, they could have got a reaction. But no, that's the board. That's the board. And fair play to the fans that marched from St. Mary's today, and all these CSCs and the speakers as well, because I know a lot of you are not behind the Celtic Collective, but I'm completely behind them. I think they're doing a good job. I think they're calling out as it is. Is as much as you got to see what's happening with the book, what's inside the book, and what we have a board that are like, anyway, the penny pinch, anyway, to collect the revenues but not spend back into the club in a certain way that we want. Tisdale, to be honest with you, Stevens, Tisdale should never have been at Celtic. What a CV at Exeter City, for fuck's sake. Let's be honest. Like, this is what we're talking about. We're going cheap with this shit. We're going for someone in the MLS. No disrespect to Wilfred, but come on, it's Glasgow Celtic. It's this is an institution where it's known worldwide, and as I said, there's no such thing as second place in Scotland with Celtic. There's no such thing as being finalists and finishing up runners up. It's all about silverware. It's all about demand. So, but we gotta believe that. Look at Brian. That's a good point. Look at Brian, and I know Brian's trying to be optimistic here, and I'm fair play to Brian as well. And we have Sriracha, CCV. To be honest with you, I'm completely checked out on Cameron Carter Vickers. I just don't think his head's in it. He's more injury prone. I know this sounds crazy because he was one of our best centre backs for the last, you know, 3 years, but he's more become a liability than an asset in recent times. CCV. Johnston, what an asset he is. I know he's been hit with injuries and stuff as well, but he's one of our key players. Look, can't wait to get him back because he'd be raring to play well for Celtic and obviously make a stamp in that Canadian squad as well. Forrest has his moments, but he played well under Martin O'Neill. But what is he gonna be like under Wilfred Nancy? And Nacho, not fit. Yeah, he's in the squad, but he's not getting enough time on the pitch. So you know, I'm a fan of Callum Osmond. Obviously, he done well in the cup semi final and stuff like that, and then he was unfortunate with the injury. But as a collective, as a team, they all need to step up. And it's not about the players that have to come back; it's the players that are there right now. The players that get picked on that day, that have that jersey up in that dressing room and that kit ready to go. It's about them making the difference on the day. We can all say we can have this back, we have that back. They'll all come back gradually. The whole purpose of football seasons is you bring a big roster of players in, or a roster of players, and they've been there or coming in, and injuries happen, and then players come back from injuries. But look, I'm not thinking about Jota, I'm not thinking about Johnson, I'm not thinking about Srirachi or Osmond or Inacho. Think about what we have right there. That's what we need to believe in. Should have went all out for Newton. We're never going to get Newton. Newton was always one of my top pick was Newton. To be honest, it was Newton, and that's who I wanted. But I would have said Nuno Santos, but he was obviously took the West Ham job. But yeah, evening Keith, how's things? Not bad considering the shite we watched today. I was raging earlier on, but at the same time, kind of used to disappointment this season. Kind of getting used to getting beaten by Hearts in a fashion where it gives a bad taste in your mouth. And you can't blame VAR. We can't blame referees. We can blame our own mistakes. We can blame the bad style of football, So yeah. Forrest and Nacho, seriously, you think they were Dalglish and Rush? Stop ripping it into each other. We're all fans here. I'm trying to make a point. Of course you're making a point. Look, as you're saying, the more ammo you have, you probably will. It could be towards your advantage. I completely understand. We understand. 3-4-3. What he was thinking? Less than 2 months playing better system. We don't have the quality for that. Look, as I said, if we lose the title, we all know where the blame game's going to go. It's going to go on that board from the whole Brendan Rodgers throwing his toys at a pram, from not being backed as well, from players not being serious in Europe, from players getting fucking not taking Rangers to the sword at Ibrox, from getting beaten by Braga, from getting hammered and embarrassed by fucking Hearts at Tynecastle. And that was the day. That was the day that made me feel, right, there's a chance, there is a realisation chance that Celtic could lose the league this season. And I know that Brendan resigns and Martin came in, and as Callum McGregor put that term, stabilised. Yeah, the injection was good, but the injection worn off today at home. If we were beaten by Hearts at Tynecastle today, it would have been a difficult one, but getting beaten at home with a full fucking crowd and new manager, and the new manager's not thinking fucking straight, trying to win the fans over by playing what he knows He's been looking at this squad. He's been saying he's been watching the games. Why the fuck would you, with two training sessions in, go 3-4-3? 3-4-3. It's fucking ludicrous. It is a bleeding rookie decision. As I said, I'm not trying to attack the gaffer. He's only one game in, but this is a fucking this is a title challenge. This is a team that if you beat, you go ahead of them in the title race. Fucking madness. This is not the MLS, Wilfred. This is fucking Glasgow. This is Celtic. You know, you don't get it right after a few games in high tense games. You will be getting told to get the fuck with that board. That's the god honest truth. And that's not, I know that should not be the way, but that's how the realizations is in jobs. If you go into a job and you may have this on your CV, you might have that on your CV, and you go in and you just can't get a click, you can't click to it. Obviously, your position will be questioned. But look, I'm fucking writing off Thursday night. Simple as. If we go out and win on Thursday night, happy fucking days. But look, I'm being honest with you today, after what he's saying, with the lack of aggression, the confusion between the players, the confusion with the manager, with the tactic boards, with the in the final third not being aggressive. Yes, we hit the crossbar and Tierney scored at the end. By the way, it was a nice finish by Tierney. I'll give the positives for that, even though like 4 players trying to block him, but fucking hard. You know? We ain't winning the league. He wants to play Connect 4. And see the amount of Celtic memes today. It's realization. And we're laughing fucking stock. From go midweek to see him singing Martin O'Neill to talking about Connect fucking 4. What's going on? This is the roller coaster of shite this season. The roller coaster. And do you blame me? Do you blame me for not coming on and making fucking daily videos for you? Because Celtic has depressed me this season. It has mentally done me in. And I know there's a lot of you that have been around longer than me. I've seen the dark days, but this is a dark season. There's been a bit of light when Mr. Martino came in. St. Martin, he came in. And I need to build a bridge and get over it. He's gone. He's gone. He's fucking gone. Enjoyed the cup semi-final, enjoyed the moments, but he's gone. But now we have a guy that's fucking won the MLS, and we're putting all the fucking eggs in one basket to hope that he can turn it. And I hope he does turn it, but stop with the fucking like, you know, exposing your fucking tactics on live TV. Jesus Christ. Hope he gets his tactics and the board away from the dugout in the future. It makes him look amateur. I think I'll be honest with you. As I said, I think it looks me. I think I could do a better job myself. I think if you put me in there tomorrow, I'll have Jackie McNamara as my number 2. I could do a job. I could get that team up and fucking running. You know, I would keep it. I'll keep it to the 4 for the time being. Get them in the 4. You know, look into getting a defensive midfielder. Get a defensive midfielder in the window. That's what we really need, and push Mr. McGregor up and fucking offload Tate and put McGregor more attacking, so we know that we're going to get goals in McGregor than Tate, and give him that support to Arnie Ingles. Like, it's just a fucking joke. And as I said, I'm sorry, folks. I apologize time and time again, and I know there's podcasts that do it every fucking day, and I commend them. I think they're fucking great podcasts, but fuck me, how do they sit there and talk the same shit every single night? Is beyond me. It hurts. And you know what? We've had it nice and rosy for the last, decent 10 years. We've had a couple of 1 or 2 bad seasons, but you know what? This is the joys of football. This is the joys of, you get a fucking punch in the mouth by a Jambo. You either get back up and fucking take, or get punched back down again. But hopefully by May, hopefully in May, we're lifting that league title. But right now, if I'm going to be brutally honest, out of a scale 1 to 10, and I'm saying this as a whole, not after this performance today. I'm saying this as a whole of what I've seen this season from the team, from the vibe of the fans, from all the politics going on. I think it's a 6 out of 10 chance. And that's me being honest with you. There's no point in me sugarcoating, like, oh, we're going to win the league, we're going to win the treble, we're going to win this. I don't happy clap. I don't happy clap. I say it as what I see. And I'm not a fucking, like, I'm watching Liverpool meltdowns. Like, I used to be a Liverpool fan years ago. And I'm watching Liverpool meltdowns. And I'm saying to myself, how finical could you be of a fan? How finical could you be? Like, they have meltdowns. Fucking meltdowns. I know we have meltdowns, but for fuck's sake, we hopefully we'll get it together. You gotta have that bit of, as I said, that whole 4 out of 10 possibility chance of getting it together. Hopefully will happen. But I'm trying to say this in the right direction. Fuck Thursday night. Don't bother your whole getting excited about it. So anyone that's bought the tickets for the game on Thursday night, fair enough, going back to team. That's your money. That's what you've invested in. But wait, it wouldn't be me. Do you know what I'd be doing with that 52 quid? Or that fucking 45 quid? I'd be bringing me missus to spoons and getting fucking pissed. That's what I'd be doing with it. Fucking get myself a nice fluffy jammies or something. That's what I'd be doing with it. Wouldn't be bothered watching that face-to-face. Bollocks that. I know you keep saying back your team, but fucking we're going to get playing against Roma. Evan Ferguson's going to rip us to shreds if he's playing, So, yeah, that's the realization of this season. That's the realization of how we're feeling. The realization of stop being stubborn. Stop thinking we're going to win every fucking game. Let's just be honest with ourselves. Say, right, a new manager to come in the door. He has never managed in Scottish football before. He's never managed in Europe before. He's taking a team that have been badly damaged by Brendan and his fucking eagerness to being minded from Martin O'Neill to, okay, we've held your hand to the schoolyard. Now it's your fucking turn to go out into the yard, and Wilfred's going to show us what it feels like, That's what the players need to told in that dressing room, Keith. You ain't going to get slapped in the face. That's it. You got slapped in the face by a Jambo. Yet again. Imagine Derek McInnes winning the fucking league. Holy fucking shite. He had a good chance with Aberdeen under Ronnie Doyle. And if this fucker wins the league, and especially fucking Lawrence Shankland, oh, Jesus Christ. I'd be like that Baldy Kilmarnock fan. I'd be screaming. I'm like, no. But at the same time, I'd be like, told you so. We got players playing. We've got players in that squad that are stealing a wage. Players. I wouldn't even call them fucking players. I'll call them fucking sissies. Absolute sissies. Afraid to get into the trenches and battle for that fucking shirt. That's what we have. And this is what I'm trying to tell you. See the likes of Carter Vickers. He's checked out. He doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't give a fuck the way. Look at his sloppy passing in games. Look at it. I think, do you know what I honestly think? You might think I'm fucking nuts when I say this, but this is my whole conspiracy on Carter Vickers. I think when the heat is on him and when he's playing bad, all of a sudden he gets a bad injury and he's out for a little bit longer than expected. I know it sounds crazy. I know it's a mad conspiracy. You might think I'm talking shit, but that's how I think about Carter Vickers. Well checked out. I think, see how them sloppy passes, them own goals, and them, missing the ball at the back. I just don't think he can handle the heat. I think he's had the experience of, I've done the treble and just gone, I've checked out. Same with Rio, checked out. We need to get into our heads. Rio Atate is not the Rio Atate under Ange Postecoglou. Yes, he shows moments of magic at times, but for fuck's sake, it's like a blue moon. Like a blue moon. Need to get into their heads. He's not the Rio Atate. Is Benjamin Negrin the answer? He scored some decent goals this season. Let's not write Benji off. It's only his fourth season. Is Arnie Ingles the answer? I can see Arnie's trying, but you can try all you want. It's about getting the job done. It's about getting the job fucking done. That's what it's all about, you know? I'm surprised that Wilfred changing so much, because I'm not surprised, Kieran. I'm not surprised at all he's trying to win over the fans. It's this PR bullshit that you've seen. And I'll be honest with you, I fell for it. I was watching it yesterday on the socials, like, oh my God, this is giving me end vibes. Oh my God, I'm getting mic'd up. That's what I was like. Need to stop buying into that shit. As I said, actions speak louder than words, my friends. That's what it's all about. And I hope he's enjoying this podcast. I hope he's like the Scotland flag. I hope he's like the 40 clover as well I got off Timu. And yes, that does look dusty, but it's not dusty because I fucking sprayed it and it smudged into it. Fuck it. Who gives a shit? You live once. You know, who gives a shit what my gap looks like? What I cared about was Celtic winning the fucking league. That's what I cared about. You know? So yeah, let's have a bit of patience. Do you know I was somewhere earlier on, right? And I was that pissed off and angry. What did I do? I decided to break the bank and spend €7.40 on a fucking Guinness. Now, I don't really drink on it, especially if I'm doing a bit of traveling or if I know it's, I was going to say, work the next day. I tend not to break the bank for a price of Guinness like that. But I'm sitting there and these wankers walk past me and they started singing Claudio Bravo. And you know what I done? Fannies, I screamed at them. Fannies. Because you know what? Form is temporary, but liquidation's permanent. Liquidation's permanent. You know, this is the part parcel of supporting football teams. If you can't take the heat when it's on you, when it's born your arse, what does that say about you as a football fan? You know, what does that say about you as a football fan? Win some, lose some, you know with it. You know. I hope they don't shrink. They don't shrink. And this is the problem with modern day footballers. They're all prima donnas. They all think they're fucking God's gift. They get a deal on H&M, or they get a fucking Hugo Boss deal, and they have about 10 million followers on Instagram or 10 million followers on fucking whatever they have, and they think that they're bigger than fucking a certain football club. Now, don't get me wrong. The whole Mo Salah thing yesterday, I think Mo Salah is right what he's saying. The manager's dropped him for 3 games. Mo Salah won everything with Liverpool. Won their key players. But like, Slot has lost it. Fuck Slot. Fuck Slot. But we need to think about our players. Fuck Liverpool. You know? Tweaks. He should have, like, he had this conversation. He had a conversation with Martin O'Neill the other day on his first day, right? Why the fuck would you change your fucking formation 2 training sessions in? Saturday would have been a light training session. There would have been no contact or nothing. Like, what the fuck? Like, I just don't get it. I just don't fucking get it. Like, should have thrown the Guinness all over them, Keats. Fucking should have. Instead, I sat there and had me hunky dories and my chocolate bar and crunched it and felt depressed. And you know what? We don't really get me. You know, this season it has been a fucking absolute slap in the face. You know, it has been a slap in the face, but still a lot of games to be played. It really is. Tommy's like, we're depressing, Keith. Cheer me up. Put the defibrillator on me. I need a fucking shake. Oh, it's not Battlefield, Tommy. Relax. Been in the door 48 hours and decided to change from a winning formation and style to his own way. I know. Players in the second half didn't know where to be. Fucking it was honestly. I just can't get where he looked so nervous coming out to Celtic Park in the introduction, right? Changed his jacket at half time, pissing rain in Glasgow weather, and then we get fucked over by Hearts and he's straight down the tunnel like Philly Clement was for Rangers. Straight down. You know, fucking need for speed shit. You know. Bought the new iPhone 17. Oh well, look at that. Look, at least you got a new phone. I got myself the Samsung Fold. The Fold. Where is he? Where is he Fold? Oh Jesus! I had to put a big case on it. The Fold. The Fold. The Fold. Right. So Chris is saying Celtic World Order and one Celtic advance view cross right off my list. Banning chance and banning cants and defending themselves. What was that about? I like these podcasts. I think the lads Stevie and Paddy are pretty decent lads. They put the work in, and I think Baz is a good man as well. So you know, I like them. I might get unsubscribed now as well, but you know what? I can't. I'm not here to cheer everyone up. I'm not here to be everyone's best friend or be the teacher's pet. I'll be who I am. And I get people that come into my job. I had a guy that came in on Friday, and he was a lovely gentleman. And he said to me, I watch your podcast. I was like, oh, good. And he's like, oh, I watch all these, I watch all that. And I goes, look, it's a good that you have a variety of podcasts. I goes, when I was starting up, there was only 2 or 3. I goes, it's good because at the end of the day, we all speak different. And he was talking to me about the huddle breakdown. He's like, I love the analytics, I love all the stats. And I goes, fair play to the lads. I goes, it ain't my fucking cup of tea because I'm sitting here working Monday to 9 to 5. I don't have the time to be getting the fancy microphone or the analytics up and be fucking Rafa Benitez or have the fucking Connect 4 board up. I don't have that. I don't have that time. But the one thing I do have is passion. One thing I do have is honesty. So keep going what you're doing, whatever podcast. But the Celtic World Order, I love the guys. I actually would, if anyone watches them, tell them to reach out to me, or I'm in a group with them. I'll reach out and I'll see with Stevie or Paddy like to do a podcast with me. You know, it'd be good to have their perspectives on things as well. But look, May lost the battle, but we didn't lose the war. And I know there's been a lot of bumps and bruises so far, and we're now on the 7th of December, and we've been pumped by the mini sharks twice, and fuck, there's still a long way to go. You know, we're only in round 4 of this boxing fight, folks. Round 4. So be optimistic. Who here is waiting for January's masterclass? To be honest with you, we're gonna buy fuck all, or we're gonna get guys on the free. You know, let's be honest. There's 29 people here in the podcast tonight. 29 yes. So out of 29, just put in a comment between a scale of 1 to 10. How optimistic are you about the transfer window in January? Right now, my honest opinion, 4 out of 10. 4 out of 10. Regardless Wilfred or not. Whoever takes that job is going to be completely, is a yes man to take their age and try make a stamp. Let's be honest, he hasn't looked into this club enough. He hasn't looked in. If you're taking over this club and you've seen all this shit going on with the fans and the board, would you want to touch that shit? Definitely wouldn't. I wouldn't be touching that shit. Definitely not. Regardless of Celtic or not, it's fucking poison. Alice Cooper said it. So we spent 5 million on 2-year scale. Yeah, Balakwisha. Who the fuck? I was so pro, and I was pro Balakwisha going to come in. He's going to tear it apart. He's been good for Royal Antwerp. He's been good for fucking Stella Liège. The guy doesn't have a fucking breeze. Can't get a chance. He's been dirt. Absolute dirt. This is the problem with players. Some players come here and they just can't handle the environment. Just can't handle the fucking heat. That's what the problem is. The heat of fucking being under pressure, performing. That's what the problem is with them. Well, look, as I said, I mentioned the marches today. I've seen the footage and stuff like that. And fair play to all the CSCs that done it from St. Mary's up to Celtic Park. And you know what? Football is nothing without the fans. And, these people are not anti-establishment. These people are not bullies. These people care deeply about the running of Celtic Football Club. Some of you don't fucking care. Some of you just care about what's on the pitch. But think in the bigger aspect, it's all about the logistics. If you want a successful team, you gotta believe in your board, believe in the vision. But we don't have a fucking vision because we don't know what the vision is. There's no communication, there's no dialect. So for our fans to come out, as you said earlier on, if you attack a portion of fans, you're attacking all fans. Because at the end of the day, these people pay thousands upon thousands a fucking season to back their team. Beyond in Europe, in Scotland, Aberdeen, fucking wherever they go. And you have to give it to these folk. Regardless if they have a different opinion to you or not. They're there for one fucking thing. They're there to support Celtic. Their views may be different to yours. And not everyone gets on and agrees to certain things. But we love our fucking team. And if people can see that this isn't right and they're calling out, there's no point of criticizing these people. There's no point criticizing these people because these people, do you know what? This whole program of not giving another penny, obviously it is showing that Celtic have put their away jerseys down by 30% in November. When was the last time they put their jerseys down by 30%? I think it was the last time was like Nike days. So, and that's the last Nike jersey was back in 2015. So it is working. And I know some people might not think, oh well, if it was working, we'd have this person out the door, that person. It takes time. It takes time. So so all these podcasts and all these CSCs and all these signatures and all these Skype calls and all these meetings, it's happening because people want them fucking out. Get them out. And see all these happy clappers that clap and clap every fucking season because we won the league and they tap each other on the shoulder and they think everything's all rosy. Wake up to reality. The more you take the piss and take things for granted, you'll get punished. And this is what happens when you don't. This is what happens when you don't invest in your team. You don't invest in your team and you take teams for granted, you'll pay the price like what Hearts have done twice this season. So folks, as I said, that look, Chris, you have a chat. You have a chat with Baz. Baz has a different view because he has his own way of things. Without the Green Brigade there today, at the end of the day, it's shite that they weren't there. It's been shite that they're going to be there for the next 4 games or so. But it's up to every single one of them fuckers in the stands, which is our amazing fans, to get up off their seats and sing and be the 12th man. That's what we're known for being the best fans in the world. And don't forget that, as Martin O'Neill said. Don't forget that. There's no point of all of us moaning and hiffing. If I had a chance to go to the fucking game and I got a ticket, look, the simple fact is, I've rather bigger shit going on in life than fucking forking out 35 quid for a ticket, trains over, having a few drinks, having a bit of grub after it. It's like a fucking... People just think, I just go to the game. It doesn't work like that, folks. It's expensive. It's expensive. It's like fucking going to a concert these days, So do you blame me sitting there in me Jabba the Hutt belly, watching it on the fucking telly? Because I can't afford it. Simple. We're in the cost of living. Might go and watch Baz. If you don't like Happy Clappers, mate, he's being cloned. Look, I've watched Baz over the years, and I'm gonna pick up for Baz. Baz puts in a lot of work into his channel. But Baz has a different opinion. Doesn't mean you boycott Baz's podcast. If you don't like it, you don't like it. I like Baz. I was actually meant to do a podcast with Baz about 3 months ago. I think he says it as it is, and I think, you know, there's nothing wrong with being passionate. There's nothing wrong with someone being different opinionated than you. It doesn't mean they're a bad person. It doesn't mean they're a bad person. If they don't like a particular ultra group, that's their opinion. At the end of the day, we should be all coming together as a fan base and putting pressure on that board to actually start delivering. Because, and I mean delivering with a dialect, delivering with backing managers and, you know, look at our scouting system, you know, thinking of the paying customer. Because let's be honest, I've said this so many times on this channel, and I'll repeat this like I'm a fucking parrot, like a Troy fucking parrot. Are you getting your money's worth of what you're seeing of Celtic this season? From buying merch, from season ticket, from going to games. You're just a fucking number. And that's it should never ever feel like that, because there's always been a kind of a family connection with Celtic. It doesn't feel like that this season. It feels very, very strange. You know, it feels very strange. You know, and we expect the team to step up. You know. I'm gonna say this again, and I will say this: Celtic Football Club is going down the English Premier League model. It's the digitalized tickets. It's going to be a paywall as it is already for Celtic TV, but they don't put enough money into the paywall. You know, it's football has become a more of an expensive sport to be invested in. It's getting as bad as rugby, like, honestly, it really is, you know. And the sad thing is, if you don't buy a particular jersey, someone gets a jersey on Facebook and puts it up like, oh, look at me, my new jersey. Oh, look at this. I got this at pre-order. I got this. And then it's like, oh, why are you not buying the jersey? Because maybe we don't have the fucking money to buy the jersey. You know, we spent nearly fucking 280 quid on fucking jerseys and clobber the season. People just don't have the money. Simple as. And Celtic fans should know that. Celtic fans should not pull down and look at their fans and say, well, you're not buying this jersey and stuff. Because we're a team that was found to help each other. We were a team, we're foundations to help during struggle and oppression. You know? Nobody's asking to boycott Keith. I just woke up to his BS. His profile picture is an ultra, and he bashes on about the Green Brigade. He makes money from his channel too. Well, I don't make fuck all money off my channel because I don't put the effort in. Simple as. And look at that's what he's into. And leave him be. Leave him be. He puts the content out, and he does the research. And if as I said, I'm not a spokesman for Baz. I watch a lot of his podcasts, and I like a lot of the stuff he does. Simple as. So yeah. I just think you should send him an email and say, here, look, I'm not into watching anymore. I just think, you know, simple as some people are annoyed that there's politics there between fans and the board, and they just want to see that football team playing. And you just gotta respect that, and you know, but I'm more than that. I like to see everything the way it works, the full wheel, you know. And the board will put you back. Who's on the drink 3 months? Who's on the drink 3 months? Fair play to them. Fair play to them. 3 out of 10. So, right, look. If you're against happy clappers like me, everyone, you can't pick and choose because of one guy and his channel that he next doesn't. I told Baz, buddy, don't worry, he knows he's fine. What I think. Good. 3 years. Fucking hell. Good stuff, Brian. Good stuff. Keep up the good work and make it 4 years. You know, I always say this. Alcohol does not define you as a person. You don't need alcohol to have a good time. Simple. You don't need alcohol to have a good time. Alcohol is a so-called socializing tool for people, so they have to try express themselves. I have friends that go out and drink 0-0s. I have folks that go out and drink water on a night out, you know? And I'll give you an example. Even when I drink alcohol, say if I'm out for a derby day, I'll have me 4 or 5 pints, right, of Guinness. And what do? I'll go up to the bar, and I've done this in the Brazen Head. I've done this in pubs in Glasgow. I've done this in Dublin, where I'll go up to the bar after 5 or 6 pints. I'll get 2 pints of water and I'll drink. And people are there looking at me like, "Yeah, right there, mate." And I'm like, "Yeah, just hydrate myself. I'm thinking about what's ahead. I'm thinking about when I get home and I feel, I want to get into the bath. I want to feel fresh for tomorrow. I want to feel good." And people look at you and like, go hard or go home. I'm like, mate, at least I won't have a hangover tomorrow like you gobshite. So, yeah. Are you going to the game on Thursday? No, I'm not, because I'm not spending that type of money and seeing our team being pumped. But I will be watching the game on Thursday. I might do a watch along for it. What do you think? Will I do a watch along? Should I do a watch along? Should I sit here for 2 hours and watch that? Let me know. Let me know. As I said, I want to start getting back into this. I want to start, hitting the ribs on this. Tommy, the board are clearly trying to get us to step up and getting them out with appointing Wilfreds. That's just. I'm done talking about the board. Honestly, tonight I'm done about. It's just takes it out at times. Booze ain't to call poison for nothing. There's coaches out there, That's it. Well, that's why we don't read the Jack Daniels. Trust me, the board has tempted me to go back on. Look, don't give away something very good that you've done because of football. As much as Celtic is your life, Brian. Don't. It's not worth it. Because you'll regret. You'll regret. Just think of another way to cleanse the mind. How about going out for a walk? How about bringing the dog out? Or how about fucking ringing Joe and see how he's getting on? How about just doing something like that? How about just watching watching podcasts? Watching I watch some crazy podcast outside football. I like watching all the history stuff. I'm like, there's a guy on right now called London Hustle on the telly. Now, it's this guy that's like literally gets these electric bikes and he travels around the UK and he does the Liberoo on the video, and it's a bit crazy. He done Glasgow. And he start comparing Glasgow to London, and I was like, mate, don't even go there. Don't go there. But I've stopped smoking the backy for 2 weeks now. Never go back. Fair play to Chris. Go up the stuff. Go up there, Chris. Chris is doing well. Brian's doing well. Ryan is raging over today, but Tommy's at the getting a new iPhone. We're making progress here. Maybe we're not making progress on the pitch today. But you know what? I fucking love Celtic. I fucking love Celtic. I love Celtic like the way you love Celtic. When I don't put a jersey on, I feel like I'm ripping Celtic off. That's how I feel. When I don't put a Celtic jersey on, sometimes I put a Canada jersey on. A couple of Wales tops there, even though I'm not Welsh, but I feel like I'm doing the Jordan Celtic, and that's like my missus said to me one day. We were having a conversation last week. She was like, "Well, Keith, it's my fucking team. It's my life. It's my fucking life." I'm like, calm down, love. I know you were born into it. Calm the fuck down. It's a football team, sweetheart. We have a lot of bigger shit going on right now, and you're worried about the game. It's like, I missed this fucking game. I'm like, I know you're from the East End. I know you love your club, but don't fucking take it out on me. I'm the one that has to do the podcast. I'm the one that sits there and rage at times. I know. I thought I'd get the iPhone 17 Pro Max to watch the video. Oh, well, look, to be honest with you, should have just knocked the phone off. Power. That's it. Well, folks, I've enjoyed the podcast, which is tonight. Absolute pleasure. I hope I can get on maybe tomorrow night as well. Let the dust settle with this. I know we are angry and a bit pissed off with the performance, but what I would say is just put the seatbelt on for the week. There might be a couple of crashes, and have the fucking faith. I know I sound like George Michael, I know, but have the faith that I don't care what happens on Thursday. I believe once we don't get injuries, that's all I care about. All I want is to go into Sunday next week and win a bit of silverware so we can get the lift up and get the morale up, you know? I'll be fine tomorrow, just not tonight. That's it. You have a good sleep, green smoke. Have a bit of green smoke. No, don't. But just fucking. You've been in this position before. It's not like a new thing to you. We've been in the position in life where we've had to crash on itself. Oh, destruction derby, eh? Oh, it could be worse. You could have had Russell Martin as your manager. Could have been worse. You could be fourth in the league. Your team could have been only 12 years, 13 years old. You could have seen your opposite, your rivals winning trebles upon trebles. You could have, you could have been, could have been worse. You could have had a bill thrown into you by Glasgow City Council for breaking the benches. There's worse things in life, folks. There's they're good. They up there. That's the good thing. That's it. Far across the sea, But yeah, folks, I really appreciate doing the live tonight. Honesty is the best policy. Honesty is the best policy, and just stop thinking the sun shines over your arse at times. Our Celtics arse, because sometimes we just got to take a smack across the face, and unfortunately, that's what life is. We need to get stronger. We need to learn from the Brendan shite. We need to get off the hangover of Martin O'Neill. I love Martin O'Neill. We need to move on. And we need to react quick and swift and efficient. And we need Callum McGregor, a leader, to get in there, have a chat with these lads tomorrow next down, give them the Zorro fucking slap across the mouth, and get them fucking playing the Glasgow Celtic way. And see Willie Nancy. He needs to stop with his shite and get actions speak louder than words, Wilfred. We want you to succeed. We want you to succeed at Celtic, but you need to fucking understand that this is not Ohio. You won't get away with fucking shit up here. The media will scrutinise you, the fans will scrutinise you, and then you'll start scrutinising your fucking self if it goes wrong. So you better get into it. You better get into it. On it like a car bonnet. So right, I'm off. So I'll be back tomorrow. I said that the other night, but I will be back tomorrow. So I'll be back tomorrow about 8ish. I'll be back tomorrow about 8 o'clock. So please put a little reminder on the phone. Oh, Keith's coming on at 8 o'clock. Well, he says 8 o'clock and it'll be about 8:15, but he will be on. And it could be on more. There could be other podcasts on the same time. It doesn't bleeding matter. I know other podcasts go live around that time. I don't care. If you want to watch me, watch me. If you don't, you'll catch up with me, Yeah. Connector 4, yeah. We sold the Celtic shop. Oh, Jesus Christ. Right, I'm off. See you all soon. Hail.